Hi everybody, Chris Stewart again for BamaFever.com. Time to talk a little college basketball as the 21st ranked Alabama Crimson Tide is set to take on Kansas State in Kansas City, Missouri. The Tide taking on the Wildcats in a game that won't start until 9 o'clock Central. We'll have radio coverage on the Crimson Tide Sports Network beginning at 8:30 on Saturday night. Bama 8-2, Kansas State currently at 6-1, and a team whose only loss has come against West Virginia. They lost that one in overtime. They also had a tougher than expected game against North Florida that went into overtime, their most recent contest. But Frank Martin's team, always tough, always physical, always intense, much like their head coach. And I think you're going to see the same thing from Anthony Grant's squad as well. Quite the connection between Anthony and Frank from their days in Miami, having coached together, grew up together, and these two know each other extremely well. So that's always, I think, interesting to watch from a fan's perspective. It's also tough if you are Frank Martin or you're Anthony Grant. They're two competitive individuals, but I don't know how wild they are about actually facing each other, because it's tough going against a friend, and these two are about the closest friends that the other has within the coaching profession. But you've got a team, I think, in Kansas State that doesn't have a Jacob Pullen as they did for the last couple of years, who's one of the best players in the country, but they still have a lot of weapons. Thomas Gibson, 14 points, 8 boards per game. He had 23 and 12 in that overtime victory against North Florida last weekend. Rodney Magruder, a guy who's second on the team in scoring at 12.5 points per game. They're not doing it in the same way necessarily, or some of the same people, but they still go about their business the same way. As I said, tough, physical, hard-nosed basketball. The pace, I think, will be pretty quick between the two squads. Both teams like to get the ball up and down the floor, and they like to really dictate the tempo by what they do on the defensive end. So it should be entertaining to see this matchup. For those of you interested on television, ESPNU will televise the game, but as I said, we'll have it on the radio side. Brian Pasek and I with the call starting at 8:30 on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. I look forward to recapping that one with you when we get together again next time here on BamaFever.com.